everybody, my name is Victoria. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a book review for Recursion by Blake Crouch. This year I've been starting something on my channel where I review a new release every month, and for the month of June I decided to go with Recursion because I'd heard amazing things about Blake Crouch. I had not read him before, and I'm really glad I did because I really enjoyed this book very much. It also is important, I think, to note that most of the books that I've read this year that have been new releases, I haven't liked. I have just been picking up ones that either just were wrong for me or weren't very good, and so I am actually quite relieved to finally have picked one up that I really enjoyed. In this book, we follow our two main protagonists. We go between their two perspectives, and so we have Barry Sutton, who is an NYPD cop, and when we meet him, he is talking down a woman from a ledge who is about to jump over the edge of a building, and she is suffering from something called false memory syndrome. And what is happening in the world is that people are waking up with a whole set of alternate memories. So basically that they have a husband that they've never met before, or they have kids and they have memories of this alternate life that they have actually never lived. And so they have two sets of memories. They have what they think is reality, and then also these kind of gray, foggy memories of a whole other life. And so when we meet Barry Sutton, he is responding to a call of a woman who is about to take her life because she is experiencing this and she is just not able to handle it. The second perspective that we follow is Helena Smith, or I think it's Helena Smith, and Helena is a neuroscientist. When we meet Helena Smith, she is doing a whole bunch of research on how your brain treats memory and how it processes your memories, because she is looking mainly for a cure for Alzheimer's disease. Her mom has Alzheimer's disease, and so she is really wanting to eradicate it, and so she has dedicated her whole life to learning about memories. One day, Helena gets approached by a mysterious wealthy benefactor who offers to fund her research just endlessly with an infinite amount of money. And so when we meet Helena Smith, that is the situation that we find her in. That's really all I can tell you because this is very much a thriller. That is the basic premise of the book, and so I'm not going to go into any more, but I would like to tell you why I liked this book so much. The first reason I liked this book so much is because, surprisingly, of the characters. I didn't expect these to be deep characters because this is a thriller. Most of the thrillers that I've read are not too much about the characters, and there are definitely a lot more about the plot and the action, and this has got all that going on too, but also I ended up falling in love with these characters surprisingly way more than I thought I would, and I think that is very much due to Blake Crouch's writing because it's a very slow burn to get to know them, and kind of as you learn more about them and their life and the trauma that they're dealing with, it really helps you to connect to the characters and everyone involved in this crazy plot. I even had some tears at the end. I didn't expect to have any tears, but this book really, it pulled on me emotionally, and so I was not expecting that. Another reason I liked this book was the seamless weaving of the two perspectives. As we go along, Barry's and Helena's stories do kind of intermingle and intertwine, and I did appreciate that we didn't just have two separate perspectives the whole time, and that they kind of do come together and merge, and then you are following one story instead of two. I really liked that because I honestly tend to not like books that jump me around in different perspectives, so I liked that even though we started there, we also merge into one in the end as kind of things all start coming together. Something else I liked about this was the villain. The villain is very complex, and he is also, I think, unpredictable. At least I couldn't predict anything that was going to happen in this book. So the villain was really, really good, really creepy, and also believable. I'm not even sure I should call him a villain. It's more like an antagonist of sorts. The fourth thing I really liked about this was the twists and unexpected plot lines. Blake Crouch really takes you for a wild ride. I couldn't predict anything that was going to happen, and it's really quite a mind trip as we go along. Because the main theme of this book is questioning reality versus memory of events. Even as you're reading it, you have some moments where you're questioning, like, wait, is what I'm reading really true? Is it really happening? Am I in a memory right now? It gets really confusing a little bit with the different layers. I shouldn't say confusing, I should say it gets very complex with the different layers. So even as a reader, I was questioning what's real and what's not. I also thought this was a really good balance between a sci-fi story and a fast-paced, page-turning thriller. I would say it reads more like a thriller than it does a sci-fi novel. However, we do go into some really fascinating concepts. Blake Crouch does a really good job of explaining some of these abstract scientific concepts and explaining to the reader how these things might be possible. And I am not a science buff by any means, but it seemed believable to me, so I do believe we are going to be seeing a Netflix series of this. I think it's going to be a show or movie. I think a show. And so I'm really excited for that to come out because honestly the book does read, it reads like a screenplay, I would say. I know some people don't like their books reading like a movie or like a screenplay, but I don't mean to say that in a bad way. I really enjoyed it. And I honestly can't wait for it to be adapted because I think it's going to make an amazing show if it's done well. Overall, I think the main thing I appreciated about this book was a concept that I have never read about before. I found it very original. I'd never read a story that played with memory versus reality, and I thought that this was just an amazing concept and so unique. I have honestly nothing bad to say about this book. I loved every moment of it. Maybe if I had to give like one critique, I would say I feel like it was a little bit of a slow burn at the beginning, but once things pick up, they really pick up and it is quite a ride. So yes, read this book, pick it up. And so if you haven't been able to guess right now, I did rate this 5 out of 5 stars. I cannot recommend this enough. I think it is an amazing read. I think you should read it. Let me know if you've picked this up. What did you think about it? Let me know if you're gonna pick it up. I highly recommend it. Finally, a new release book that I liked this year. Whew, I thought it was never gonna happen, but it did. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Be sure to subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. I post bookish videos every week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.